Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be comparing Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler from the 2006 Mr. Olympia to see how close it was at that show. I mean, could Ronnie Coleman have won his ninth Sandow, or did Jay Cutler really deserve to win? So without any further ado, let's get into this video, and quickly, I always say this, if you guys could take a moment to like and subscribe before the video starts, it would really be much appreciated. And now, without any more rambling, let's get into this video. Alright guys, so here's the front double bicep shot, and you guys can immediately notice some asymmetries within both gentlemen's arms. Take a look at Jay Cutler's biceps. First of all, one bicep is larger than the other. And then if we take a look at Ronnie Coleman, one tricep is larger than the other as well. So taking a look at the whole package overall, I will tell you that Jay Cutler presents a very flawless physique in terms of the overall silhouette. He has very good lat flare, a nice and tight midsection, good quads, very good quads, sorry, and, overall a very good flow. Now, Ronnie Coleman completely outmasses Jay Cutler in the arm department and in the quads here. As you can clearly see, his quads are so much more massive than Jay Cutler's, even though Jay Cutler's appear to have a little bit more polish in terms of, the feathering, the separation, things like that. I'm going to give this one to Ronnie Coleman as he has the mass and the condition. Jay Cutler just, he doesn't have the same level of mass, and his arms aren't as, big nor as separated as Ronnie's. So even though, Ronnie Coleman has that very unpleasing midsection and probably not the best V-taper, he carries the most mass and very good conditioning, so I'm going to give him the first pose. Here is the front lat spread, and in 1999 or even 1998, just his earlier career in general, Ronnie Coleman would take this pose easily. I mean, he would fill out this pose so perfectly, but in 2006, he is just missing his lats. I don't know where they went, but it is very clear that they took a vacation and went on a holiday because they're just gone. Now, he has really good mass everywhere else. Look at the arms, the condition, the chest, the shoulders, striations everywhere. The legs are still huge, but he's missing those lats. And Jay Cutler, he has width, he has that separation, albeit his chest and shoulders are not as conditioned as Ronnie's, but he has width, he has a tighter midsection, he has the better lats, his quads look better in this shot in terms of separation. He has the better calves. Overall, Jay Cutler looks a lot more polished in the front lat spread, so I'm going to give him a rather convincing point here. I mean, Ronnie Coleman, if he filled out this pose, he would be very good, but it's really sad to see him not filling out the pose all too well. So with that, Jay Cutler gets the point. In the side chest pose, Ronnie Coleman clearly has the mass advantage in the upper body and in the lower body. I mean, look at the side leg, the hamstring, the quad larger from the side for Ronnie Coleman, the arm better and larger for Ronnie Coleman. The delt is very comparable. I might even give it to Jay as he appears to have a better side delt and a better rear delt. The chest, though, is an easy win for Ronnie. The midsection, of course, is going to go to Jay, but come on, guys. The thickness and the muscle maturity that Ronnie Coleman presents here is unmatched, and for that reason, I think that he is going to get a rather convincing point in the side chest. The side tricep pose is a convincing win for Jay Cutler. I mean, come on, guys. Look at the presentation difference. Ronnie Coleman doesn't look all too good in this shot, albeit he looks good for Ronnie Coleman in the side tricep, but, take a look at Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler has the amazing tricep that Ronnie Coleman lacks. He has a very tight and controlled midsection, flawless abdominal muscles, a very good chest, and overall just a beautiful presentation. Taking a second look at Ronnie Coleman, it is actually very clear that he is not that bad in this shot. He is definitely winning in the lower body. He has the larger leg and more separation. His midsection is not all too bad, and his chest is definitely better in terms of the actual muscle. But the presentation difference is what seals the deal for Jay Cutler, in my opinion. I mean, he has a phenomenal package, and Ronnie Coleman, while he kind of has all the goods to potentially have a very impressive side tricep shot, he cannot seem to ever put it together, and this is no exception here, so, he's not going to win this. Jay Cutler is going to take the point. Ah, guys, I mean, come on. This is a really, depressing display from Ronnie Coleman. And I hate to say that because this used to be the lights out game over rear lat spread. And that really was what it was. It was a phenomenal rear lat spread, one of the best ever. And, it is very sad to see how deteriorated Ronnie Coleman's back really became. And taking a look at his back itself now, it just doesn't look that good. He lost the width and the thickness and the condition that he once had. His hamstrings and glutes don't have the sting, and of course, they don't have the condition as they used to. Jay Cutler, he has the condition, he has the density, the width, the thickness in the back and in the lower body. And, he looks a lot more complete. Overall, I think Jay Cutler presents a much better package. Ronnie Coleman still has those phenomenal traps, and the leg silhouette from behind is very impressive. But Jay Cutler has the conditioning and the crispness and, the youth. He has a very, young and youthful looking physique here. It doesn't look tired like, Ronnie Coleman's does. So for that reason, I think I'm going to have to give this shot to Jay Cutler. The rear double bicep shot is definitely a lot closer than the rear lat spread, as both men are displaying very good back development, and Ronnie Coleman now is displaying improved glutes and hamstring condition. And of course, that is the flaw of using, pictures for this comparison, as you never know how the angle, the timing, and the lighting will impact the pose. So, as I said, both men display very good packages here. Ronnie Coleman, of course, has that atrophied lat and the atrophied tricep from behind, but he still has the thickness and the density. Jay Cutler looks so polished, though. I mean, look at the hamstrings, the glutes, and the back and the arms. Conditioning for days for Jay Cutler, a very dry package he brought, and a very grainy one, too. I mean, very impressive. Let's take a look at another shot just so we can get a better example of both of them on stage in the same photo. In the second picture, both men are at the same angle and in the same lighting side by side, so this is a rather fair image to use. And, taking a look at it, Ronnie Coleman appears to have the thickness and the density advantage. His condition looks a lot better than it did in the last shot. And, Jay Cutler still has the condition advantage. He has that grainy, granite-like condition. He is definitely winning in the lower body and the upper body in terms of that aspect. But, I mean, Ronnie Coleman has the thickness in that back. His atrophied lat is not really hurting him all too much here, as he is definitely destroying Jay Cutler in the thickness aspect. So you can definitely choose in the comments down below, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the thickness and the density of Ronnie, or do you prefer the conditioning and completeness of Jay Cutler? Personally, the thickness and the freak factor of Ronnie Coleman really stand out to me, and for that reason, I'm going to give Ronnie a very slight advantage in this shot, very slight. You could even give Jay Cutler this pose, but yeah, Ronnie Coleman definitely not at his best, but he still ekes out a point very slightly. Guys, I thought this was going to be a convincing and easy win for Jay Cutler. However, here in 2006, he doesn't look to be the best in terms of condition, and Ronnie Coleman is impressive in terms of the leg department. His midsection is tight relative to Ronnie Coleman, and he presents a very decent abs and thigh package overall. His thighs are conditioned and separated, his abdominal muscles look decent, and he has a very good V-taper. So yeah, he presents a good package, but Jay Cutler, even though he is not at 100%, probably at like 95, 90 in terms of that conditioning, he's not 100%. His quads still have the feathering that is just so aesthetic. His midsection is miles better than Ronnie Coleman's in terms of separation and, polish. The V-taper is relatively good for Jay Cutler here, and overall, he presents a much better package. But yeah, definitely not a slam dunk victory for Jay Cutler, but a victory nonetheless. So yeah, Jay Cutler wins the abs and thigh shot. All right, guys, so the most muscular shot is a very easy win for Ronnie Coleman. I don't think Jay Cutler ever stood a chance to Ronnie Coleman, even in like 2007. Ronnie Coleman just had mass for days, and that was very evident throughout this whole comparison. But yeah, I mean, the delts, the arms, the legs, everything is better for Ronnie. The chest, the muscle separation, just miles better for Ronnie. He looks so good here. He looks in his prime in this most muscular shot. So yeah, a very easy win. Jay Cutler doesn't look all too bad. 2009 most muscular Jay Cutler might stand a chance, but here in 2006, he's not at his best. So yeah, he's not going to come close. Ronnie Coleman looks outstanding, so he will get the last point of this comparison. So that about does it for this comparison, and just to summarize the results, I had Ronnie Coleman winning the front double, the side chest, the rear double, and the most muscular, and I had Jay Cutler winning the front lat, the side tricep, the rear lat, and the abs and thigh shots, which means that this comparison was a tie. Even though this comparison resulted in a tie, you could definitely give Jay Cutler shots like the front double or the rear double, and this comparison could have easily become 5-3 or even 6-2 Jay Cutler. I just want to remind you guys that this video is purely my opinion, and I personally believe that the comparison was very close, but if you guys don't agree with my opinions, please let me know down below on what you guys think, who you had winning which pose. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and comment down below if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.